What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Ticker Feed video, and welcome to the Ticker Feed family. So the ticker symbol we're going to be talking about today is SOS, and how SOS just announced a joint venture agreement with Ronghe's affiliate aiming to establish a supercomputing center in Qingdao. After that, we'll follow up with a chart analysis and a price prediction. And for those that have been supporting me so far, I really do appreciate it. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so if you're tuning in for the first time and learning about SOS, they are an emerging blockchain-based and big data-driven marketing and solution provider. So they have a nationwide membership base of approximately 20 million in China, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, they are involved in cryptocurrency mining business and insurance and security management solutions for digital assets and cryptocurrencies. Okay, now the core infrastructure of SOS marketing data, technology, and solutions is for the emergency rescue services that is built on big data and blockchain based technology, cloud computing, AI, satellite, 5G network, etc. Right? So SOS Limited, though its operating subsidiary SOS Information Technology Co., that is a high technology company providing a wide range of services to its corporate and individual members. Okay, and again, that involves the marketing data and solutions for those rescue services, which drew me in with the company itself for those type of rescue services, because not here recently, I actually traveled all over the United States on a weekly basis, and some of those places were extremely remote. So I really do appreciate services like that. Also, keep in mind, SOS transforms digital technology into data-driven operations through research and development for those cloud computing and blockchain, right? So keep that in mind, right? I want you to understand what they do and who they are, and hopefully that will kind of give you a better understanding of some of the information that I'm going to give out later in this video. Okay, so I also wanted to point out on my video channel, you can see a little bit down below, you'll see the SOS stock, SOS Limited Crypto Catalyst, and that will kind of give you a better explanation of the company and me breaking it down basically line by line of what they do and what is so special about them. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the summary of the merging between the two companies. So on March 29, 2021, SOS announced today that its wholly owned subsidiary SOS Information Technology, and keep in mind, remember, they are the umbrella company of SOS Limited, has entered into a joint venture agreement with Qingdao Ronghe Finance Holding Group. Okay, now this new joint venture is going to be between the two, which was licensed on March 27, 2021. So I highlighted a few things in here, and let's go ahead and check it out. So Ronghe Finance is an affiliate of the Qingdao West Coast New Area Holding Group. Now they are a large state-owned enterprise in Qingdao province in China. So pursuant to the joint venture agreement, both parties are to contribute their resources to establish a supercomputing center in Qingdao. So the registered capital of the joint venture will be approximately 9 million, of which the company will contribute 51% and Ronghe will contribute 49%. So I want to pause there for a second. First of all, what do you think about them two merging? What are your thoughts on that? Then my other question is, I mean, that's pretty close. That's almost 50-50 partners. Not quite, but pretty close. So what are your thoughts on that as well? I think that's kind of interesting. SOS has the right to appoint two, which I underline this, two of the three directors, the CEO and the CFO for the joint venture, which I thought was pretty interesting. So at least they still have the overall majority holdings on the decisions for this. So that helps with the CEO and CFO, right? So now the mission of the joint venture is to establish the first large-scale supercomputing center in Qingdao and become a leading data and supercomputing R&D base in China. Now, they are expected to primarily be focused on the following fields: cloud computing, high performance computing, big data, blockchain based assets, and cryptocurrency activities, along the lines of what SOS Limited does already. Now, the CEO of SOS Limited commented, "We believe our joint venture with Ronghe is a key infrastructure investment focused on blockchain and big data, which will be a growth engine for both SOS and Ronghe." So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I actually tried to look Ronghe Holdings up, and it wasn't exactly the easiest thing to find. So with that being said, they are a state-owned holding company, again, and their corporate credit rating, according to the China Credit Rating Limited, plays a key role in industrial investment, capital operation, and equity management in promoting urban development, civil military integration, science and technology development, venture capital, medical, healthcare, major transportation facilities, and so on, as you can see. So I think this should be a good catalyst for the stock itself to be able to rise. I don't see a problem with that. I think if anything, they can just continue to develop more sectors and more areas for room for growth. But I want to know what your thoughts are on that, because I think that's pretty interesting. So I get this question a lot, and that's why I've been mentioning it. So for those that listen to my videos on the regular, this might be a little bit redundant, but I am trying to help as many people as possible, so keep that in mind. So with the candlestick charting, it's simply a method of displaying price information in a market. It's pretty self-explanatory, but this might help out. Unlike a simple line chart, each series on a candlestick chart contains 4 data points, right? So keep that in mind. There's always the 4. So you've got the opening price, the high price, the low price, and the closing price, which I feel like most people know. But when it comes to the actual anatomy of the candlestick, that might be a little bit different. So you've got your 3 basic features, okay? So that's going to be the body, which indicates the open and close range. You've got the wicks, which is also called tails or shadows, which are those long, thin lines above and below the main body. These reveal the intraday highs and low. And then you've got the color, which I feel like most people understand, and that's going to represent the direction of price of movement. So you've got the green, which shows price increase, and then the red, which indicates price decrease. So when you're looking at this chart, you see the trend line, okay? You see it? Let's expand it a little bit. Now you're looking at the candlestick. You see the trend line, okay? And here's the wick. So there's the whole body. So you've got a high of 1588. Again, for the blue, I always like to mention, as always, with the blue bar, you're going to see that that's actually buys and sells, not one or the other. And so keep that in mind. So for example, on 3/3, you're looking at 328 million trades. And so again, that's going to be buys and sells. And on that day, it was green. So it's really important because, again, with the body, whatever it opened up at, if it closes higher than what it opened up at, then it's going to be green. And then it's vice versa in the red. So when we're looking at this trend line, I think we're at about roughly 540, 545 as the trend line. That's the support, almost roughly close to $6. And so what you'll see is that it still has a resistance. And so at one point it got a push around $10, but because of what's going on in the market with the overall breakdown of the market itself with most sectors, that correction is still taking place, as you can see. I'm sure you feel it. And so keep that in mind, that this is only temporary. It's not long term. But I do think on a price prediction, yes, it had a 1588. But in my thoughts, I think here in the near future, in about a month or two, we're going to start getting where, let's check this out. So we're going to probably start getting around, I think, the low 730s, maybe even up to $8. And then from there, depending on what the catalyst is, and hopefully this merger helps, then it will only continue to grow. So for me, it looks really good. Now, with that being said, guys, I hope this added some value for you. I hope you're able to take some information in and be able to use it again, as always, for whatever the case you want to do, if that's buy or if that's sell. And I really do appreciate you listening in. And as always, welcome to the Ticker Feed family.